Hello everybody, welcome to this instruction video. In this video I'd like to show you how to make this square. The square is called Bavarian Beauty and has been designed by Heather Gibbs. The yarn that I'm using for this square is Scheepjes stonewashed yarn. I'm using this in combination with a 3.5mm crochet hook. I'll take you step by step through the rows that make up this square. Thank you for watching and I hope it's a useful video for you. Round 1, I have a slip knot on my hook. I'm going to start with a chain 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then close on the first chain stitch with a slip stitch to form a ring. You can also do a magic ring here if you prefer. We're now going to work 4 groups of stitches into this ring. Start with a chain 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then in the ring we do a treble 4 together. A treble is twice over. Then in the ring, pick up your yarn. Take off 2 loops, take off 2 loops. Now stop. I'm going to do it again. So that's twice over. Take off 2 loops and take off 2 loops. Now you've got 2 legs. We want 4 of these. So we're going to be working 4 trebles together. Take off 2 loops and again one more time. And now you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 loops on your hook. You see there the 4 legs of the 4 trebles. We're going to yarn over and take them all off in one go. This is a treble 4 together. Chain 5. 1, 2, 5. You're going to come back down to the ring, to the chain 6 ring, and in this ring work a slip stitch. And what you see is that you've now worked a group of stitches where you've got the chain 5, you have the treble in the middle, and you have the chain 5 coming back down. This group of stitches, you're going to do this 4 times in total, so we need to do this 3 more times. I'll show you again. And I'm just going to push a little bit here, just to make sure that I have enough room on this chain 6 space. And the last one is going to need a little bit of help from you to get it all in. But I prefer a chain 6 as opposed to a magic ring, because a chain 6 it just doesn't let go that easily. A magic ring, if you don't work it in really well, it can come undone. This has happened to me in the past. Again, chain 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, and a treble 4 together in the ring. So twice over. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then again take them all off in one go. So you've got 5 loops on your hook. Take them all off. Chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then again come down into the ring and work a slip stitch. There we go. Just missing the yarn. Now I've done the repeat 2 times. I'm going to push this a little further again because I need to do 2 more. I really going to have to make room for these stitches. They're really going to have to share. They're really just going to have to move whether they like it or not. There we go. Now I've got a bit more room again. Need to do number 3, 2, 3, 5. So chain 5, then in the ring, treble 4 together. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. 5 loops on your hook. Take them all off. Chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then come down. And again, I'm gonna make some room there. Close with a slip stitch in the ring. And I have 3 petals. Need 4. So I'm going to do it one last time. Chain 5. In the ring again, a treble 4 together. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. 5 loops on your hook. Take them all off. Chain 5. Then come down in the ring and close with a slip stitch. At this point it is all a bit of a squeeze, but we've managed to get it in. You can cut your yarn and you're ready for round 2. Round 2, I'm going to attach my yarn in any slip stitch between the petals. Now it doesn't matter which one you choose. To take this one, so that slip stitch between the petals, attach with a slip stitch. If you're using the same color yarn as round 1, you can just continue where round 1 left off. Chain 2, and now we're going to go over to the first petal. What you see here, you see a chain 5. You see the treble 4 together, and then you see another chain 5 coming down. Now we're going to work 12 trebles in the top of the treble 4 together. Now technically speaking, this is the end of the chain 5, and this stitch here is the top of the treble 4 together. You'll notice that this might be a slightly bigger loop because that's where you took them all off in one go. That would be this stitch. And then you have the chain 5 coming down, and that first of the chain 5, this one here, has kind of made a little eye here at the top of the petal. If I just pull it open a little bit, I'm hoping you can see. You see that little eye there? You see that little eye? And that little eye, I'm going to be working the 12 trebles. Technically, this isn't the top of the stitch because this is the first of the chain 5 coming down. But if you work it in this eye here, I find that you get a nicer look than if you work it in this loop here. You want to be in the top of the petal, and this to me is more the top than that. So that's why I'm going to work it in there. So in that position, I'm going to work 12 trebles. So twice over. Into that eye, work the first treble, and the first one might be a little hard, and then after that they go easier. That was 2, so this is 2, sorry, this is 2. I'm going to work 12. 3, you can already see that eye opening up. 3. 4. And 12. That's the last one. Oops. And 12. Let me just do this again. I didn't have the tension on my yarn right. Twice over and number 12. what you see by working 12 trebles is that you really form a loop around this treble 4 together. So really go around and come out the other side basically. And now you're going to do chain 2 and then come down and close again with a slip stitch in the slip stitch from round 1. Let's chain 2, come down in that slip stitch from round 1, that's kind of between the petals, close there with a slip stitch. And this you're going to repeat on the other 3 petals. So for the next repeat, do exactly the same as on this side. Chain 2. And in the next treble, I'm going to work 12 trebles just like here. I'm going to work there. Again, I'm going to work it in the eye of that stitch. Twice over. And then first treble of 12. This is 2. And 3. And 12. And again you see I've come around this petal. Chain 2, and now we're going to close with a slip stitch again in the slip stitch from round 1. Into that slip stitch. Close with a slip stitch. I've now done the repeat 2 times with you. Now done it 2 times on these 2 petals. Repeat and do it on these last 2 also, and then close again with a slip stitch here on that stitch where you started. I'm going to do this on these 2 stitches, these 2 petals also. Round 3, we have a new color yarn, and we're going to attach on any of these 4 petals. We have 12 trebles here. We're going to attach between trebles 4 and 5. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4. This is treble 4. That's treble 5. And we're going to just kind of take this space between the 2. I'm going to insert my hook in that space and pick up my yarn. Now we're ready to go. Chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Over the next 4 trebles, we're going to work a back post treble 4 together. So it's going to be twice over. Then around the next treble, so it's going to be treble number 5 here. Go from the back, around the post, pick up, to work a back post treble. Take off 2 loops, take off 2 loops, and then stop. Do the same on the next 3 also, so that's twice over, around that post, take off 2, take off 2. And twice over, around the next one, take off 2 loops, take off 2 loops, and twice over, around the last one, around the back of that stitch, from the back around the post, take off 2 loops twice. At this point you have 5 loops on your hook. I'm going to take them all off in one go. Chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to come down and between trebles 8 and 9 work a slip stitch. Now treble number 8 was the last one where you work this back post on. This here is treble number 9. So that's number 9, that's number 8 there. So again, kind of between those space of between those stitches, attach with a slip stitch. And you can see how this here is very similar to what we did in round 1. That's the first part. We're now again going to work a series of trebles togethers over the next 8 stitches. Start again with a chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then over the next 8 stitches, we're going to work a treble 8 together, basically. Twice over, around the next stitch, again back post. So this is going to be treble number 9 on this side here. It's the first leg. Then the second. The third. Fourth, and these are the last 4 stitches on this first petal. I'm now going to move over to the next petal and work back post treble legs on the first 4 trebles here. Your hook will get kind of full with all the loops, so you're going to kind of have to stack them. So around the first treble, work a back post treble, this only the leg, let me call it that. And this is second. And I'm really going to have to hold on to all of these loops so that nothing goes wrong with them. And the last one is around the 4th treble on the next petal. At this point you have a whole series of loops on your hook. 9 in total. I'm going to yarn over and pull through in one go. And while I do that, I'm just going to push my hook a little upwards that I don't accidentally snag any of these loops here. You want to be able to pull through cleanly. So I'm going to yarn over and then pull through and push up at the same time. And then pull through in one go. That's a treble 8 together that you just worked there. Chain 5. 1. You can see how that first one kind of again makes a little eye there. Just chain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now we're going to close again with a slip stitch between trebles 4 and 5. So here we've just had the first 4. This is number 5, so kind of in between that space, close with a slip stitch. And this point here is exactly the same as the point where we started there. This bit, you're going to do this on the other 4 corners also. So you're going to work, because this is a corner here, this is a corner, and this is your straight edge. So you're going to now work corner again, then a straight edge, a corner, a straight edge, a corner, and a straight edge, and then you're going to work your last slip stitch here between, again, where we attach the yarn, so between trebles 4 and 5. So what I've just shown you, repeat this on the other 3 edges also. Round 4. I'm going to use the same color yarn that I have used in round 3, currently here in the stitch where we had the slip stitch. If you're using a new color yarn, you're also going to attach in the same position at any slip stitch position before the treble 4 together. So for example, in this slip stitch here, or in this one here. So in any of those slip stitches, you're going to attach your yarn with a slip stitch. Using the same color yarn, you can just continue where you left off. So attach here with your new yarn, and then it's this chain 2, and now again in the top of the of this treble 4 together, going to work 12 trebles. This is very similar to what we did in row 2. So in the top of that treble, I'm again going to work 12 trebles. So twice over. Now again in the top of that treble, and I'm again going to choose to do it in the eye of that stitch. I'm going to work 12 trebles. This is 1, 2, I need to continue until I have 12, all in the same position. 3 and number 12. There you go. So I've now worked 12 trebles in the top of that stitch. So because it's all the same color, they nicely flow into one another here. Chain 2, and I'm going to come down and close with the slip stitch on the slip stitch from the previous round. So on that slip stitch. Chain 2, and now we're going to move over to this, these 8 trebles we worked together. And again in that eye there, I'm going to work 12 trebles. Just twice over, and now work 12 trebles. Sorry, not 12, 8. 8 trebles, 8, 8, 8. Sorry, I said that wrong. You work only 12 when you do the corners. On the edges you work 8 trebles. In that eye, for me that's really the top of the stitch. And you do have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 trebles, 7, and 8. 8 trebles in the top of that stitch. And again, because it's the same color, they really blend into one another. If you're using 2 different colors, you get more the effect like here, that you see a slight gradient between the stitches. Chain 2, and then come down, and in that slip stitch from the previous round, work a slip stitch again. And now this position is exactly the same as the position where we just started. So that means I'm going to repeat everything we just did. So chain 2, and here in the top of the stitch, work 12 trebles again. Chain 2, come down, do the slip stitch, chain 2, in the top here, that eye, work 8 trebles, chain 2, come down and do the slip stitch here. So that was repeat 2, 3 and 4. When you've gone all the way around, close here on that first stitch with a slip stitch. I'm going to cut my yarn. For the next round we use a different color. Round 5, I have a new color yarn, and this round is very similar to round 3. We're again going to attach our yarn between the 4th and 5th treble on any of these 12 trebles that you've worked in the one stitch. So those corner trebles, any one of those. 1, 2, 3, 4. So between trebles 4 and 5, I'm just going to attach my yarn. Then chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. On the next 4 trebles, work a back post treble 4 together. Just twice over. So around the first one, so the first leg, around the second, another leg, the third, another leg. So this is very similar to what we've done 2 rows down, and the 4th. You have 5 loops on your hook, take them all off. chain 5, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Going to come down, and again between stitches 8 and 9, in between, close with a slip stitch. We're going to move on and work a treble 8 together over the next 8 trebles. Start with a chain 5, 5. Then on the next 4, work a back post treble. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you move over to the next pedal that it says 8 trebles, and on the first 4 also going to pick up 1 leg on each. You're again going to have to stack all those stitches on your hook. 3 and 4. And now you have 9 loops on your hook. I'm going to take them all off in one go. Then chain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. On the top of this treble, of these series of 8 trebles, between stitches 4 and 5, it's going to insert there with a slip stitch. Now you've worked 1 straight edge here. I'm going to do this, I'm going to repeat on this side also. So again, chain 5, 3, 4, 5, and now again a treble 8 together, so decreasing over the next 8 stitches. Twice over. There's the first leg. Second is on the next. The third. The fourth. A bit more yarn. I really need to keep a hold of these loops so they don't fall off my hook. That's the first treble. On the next one, you're going to work on the first 4. 2, 3, and 4. And this really is about the maximum number of stitches I can get onto this hook. Yarn over and pull through all of them. Chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then close here again with a slip stitch between stitches 4 and 5. And this slip stitch is exactly the same as that one which we just started with. So everything you've just done here on this edge, I'm going to do this on the other 3 edges also, and then close here on your first stitch with a slip stitch. Round 6, same color yarn on my hook as round 5, but we're going to start in a different position, so I've cut my yarn. I'm going to start in the top of any corner. You've got these 4 trebles here that make up the corner. I'm going to start in the top of that stitch with a standing double crochet. So in the top of that stitch, start with a standing double crochet. You can also attach here with a slip stitch and then do a chain 3, also good. Do another double crochet in the same stitch, chain 2, and then 2 more double crochets in the same stitch. This is your new corner made. We're now going to work on the straight edge. We're going to work 3 double crochets between where we're now at and the next slip stitch. But what's important is we're going to work over the chain 5 space and then into the chain, the post from this double crochet. Let me show you. I'm going to work 3 double crochets. So yarn over, then over the chain space and around that post. Work a double crochet. It's 1, 2, and 3. Work a double crochet in the slip stitch you have here. On the next chain space, again over the chain 5 and then into the treble below. So 1, 2, 3. Next stitch is the top of this 8 together stitch. So then a double crochet in there. Again, 3 double crochets around the next double and the chain 5 space. So 1, 2, and 3. Double crochet in the slip stitch. Three doubles again around the next stitch, the next treble, and covering the chain 5. So 1, 2, and 3. And then a double crochet in the top of the 8 together, and then 3 more on your last chain 5 space, and 1 on the slip stitch. Now you're almost to your next corner. Again here also exactly the same, 3 doubles. Next up is the corner space. So in the top of the treble 4 together, work 2 doubles, chain 2 and 2 doubles, and 2, and this corner is exactly the same as that corner. So what you've now done is you've extended this straight edge and you've just made it nice and flat and straight with all those double crochets. So you've just done on this edge, repeat on the other 3, and after you do your last 3 double crochets here, close on the chain 3 or your standing stitch with a slip stitch. Round 7, new color yarn. I'm going to start in any chain 2 corner space. I'm going to attach my yarn with a slip stitch to that corner space. Chain 2. This is my first half double. Yarn over, and work another half double, chain 2, and 2 more half doubles in this same space. Now onto the straight edge. I'm going to work a half double in every stitch on the back loop. Now especially the first stitch, be mindful not to accidentally skip that stitch. It's that little stitch there, that one there. I'm going to work a back loop in this stitch. Back loop only, so you see there the back loop of the stitch. Just taking the thread with me. Work a half double. And also on the next. I'm going to continue like this, working a half double on each stitch, but the back loop only. It's going to give you this nice little edge here. You see that's being formed by the front loops of the stitch. And in the same go, I'm just working over my yarn tail, so I don't have to work that away later on. So work a half double in every stitch in the back loop. When you get to the corner, work 2 half doubles, chain 2, and 2 half doubles. And then you can go on to the next edge. Continue like that all the way around. When we get to your first stitch, you can close on your first stitch here with a slip stitch or an invisible join on that chain 2. Row 8. Row 8 is a repetition of row 7. So row 8, 9 and 10 we're going to repeat row 7. Just going to show you the start of this row again, and then you should be able to do it without me. In the chain 2 corner space, attach a yarn with a slip stitch. Chain 2, 2. You can also do a standing half double here if you prefer. Another half double, chain 2, and 2 more half doubles, and 2. Now we're going to work a half double in every stitch on the back loop, and especially this first one here is a little tricky. You see this first stitch, you could accidentally skip that stitch, so that's the one that if your stitch count is wrong, you must probably skip that stitch. So I'm just going to open this up. You see there's a stitch, and then there, see, I'll just pull this back, and also because it's a half double it can be hard to get into, but that there is the full stitch, but you only want the back loop. Just going to yarn over, just grab the back loop there, and I'm just going to work over the thread, my beginning yarn tail. So you see that little hidden stitch. That's one that could go wrong if you accidentally miss that. And then continue and work a half double on every stitch in the back loop. And continue this until you get to the other side. When you get to your next corner, work again 2 half doubles, chain 2, 2 half doubles in the chain 2 corner space. In the process you make a new corner. Go all the way around and then close with a slip stitch or an invisible join on your chain 2. This is then round 8. You're going to do exactly the same as we did here for row 8. Going to do also for row 9 and row 10. After you've completed row 9 and 10, so row 8, 9 and 10. This is what your square looks like. Take a moment to block your square. You'll just notice that it'll make it all nice and straight. Then you're finished with this square. But thank you for watching. I hope to see you again next time.